A girl is asking for help to buy her medicine. At this time, a woman arrives and realizes that she could not see. The woman then takes the money the girl had earned to buy her medicine. She then walks away and leaves the girl there. The girl then removes the blindfold that was under her eyes. The girl then takes some more money and puts it in her pot. She then puts her blindfold back on and asks for help again. At this moment, another woman appears and says she would help the girl. A girl thanks the woman, so the woman puts some coins in the jar, but she ends up taking the bills out. The girl then thanks the woman and she leaves. She then removes the blindfold from her eye and wonders if there weren't any honest people there. The girl then puts more money in her pot and asks for help again. At this moment, a man arrives and is surprised by that situation. He then goes to the girl and tells her that she couldn't leave that money like that. She asks what he was talking about and he says someone could steal her money so she should keep it. The girl then thanks the man and says that she didn't know there was money in that jar. The girl then asks if the man could help her. He says yes and she says she needed help finding her shoelaces as she had lost them and couldn't find them as she couldn't see. The man is moved by the situation and says he would give her his shoelaces. He then removes his shoelaces and puts them in the girl's shoes. The girl then thanks the man. He said he had to leave as he was very late for a job interview. She says goodbye to the man and then starts smiling at him as he walks away. Later, the man arrives at the interview location and asks if he would still be able to participate in it. At that moment, the people who were there start to laugh, and one of the women asks if he was there to do the interview to be part of the cleaning team. The man then asks why they are saying that and the other woman says that their shoes look like clowns, as they had no laces. The woman then says that if the man's only problem was his shoes, he would still be fine, but that he had a lot of problems. She says that his clothes were too big and that they were too ugly. She said that it was a big company and very renowned, so the man would not get a job in that company, because he was not good enough for her. The man then asks why they are saying that to him. The woman says that those clothes belonged to poor people and that he wouldn't get a job wearing them. The man said that those clothes belonged to his grandfather, who had passed away, and says that he had as many chances as they did to get a job at that company. The other woman then agrees that he had a chance of getting a spot, but that it would be for the cleaning crew. The man then said that he didn't like the way they were treating him. He said he had as much right as they did to be there to compete for the spot. He sits down and the woman tells him not to come near her. At that moment, an employee arrives and greets them. The women soon get up and go to the employee. They introduce themselves and the employee does the same. The employee thanked them for being there and said she knew they were very busy people. The man then extends his hand and greets the employee saying that his name was Paulo. The employee then asks, "Man, if that was how he would attend an interview as important as that one." The man then, not quite understanding what she meant by that, and asks what she was talking about. She said that she wanted to remind everyone that this was a renowned company and that she would not accept mistakes from them. She then asks them to sit down. The candidates then sit down and then the employee says that she needed to take care of some matters, but that she would be back soon. One of the women, then, says that she would help the man to dress better for the next interview, because in that one he would not get anything. She then pulls out some bills from her purse and hands them to the man. The man then asks why she did that and she said it was for him to buy some clothes and leave, because he would not be able to pass that interview. The other woman then says that she also wanted to help the man. She takes some notes that were waiting and hands them to the man, saying that now they couldn't say that she had never helped a poor person. She throws the money at the man, and then they start laughing at him. The man picks up the money from the floor, but says he didn't need it. He said he was there to improve his financial situation and give his mother a better life. The woman then proceeds to mock the man and say she was moved by his story. She said the man was just trying to make others think he was a poor bastard and thus let him win the interview. The man said he would never do such a thing. He said he was there to get a job and thus be able to buy medicine for his mother, as she was very sick. The woman then said that she was moved by the man's story and says that he could use that money they had given to buy medicine for his mother. The man then says that he was grateful for their good deed, but that he didn't need that money. He said he had faith that he would get that job and that he would finally be able to change his life for the better and thus be able to buy the medicine that his mother so badly needed. The women, then, start laughing at what the man had said, and one of them says that that vacancy would not be his just because he had faith. She says that the vacancy would be for the most qualified person for that company and that, since the man didn't have an excellent resume like her, if he could leave that place, he wouldn't get anything. The man then returns the money to the women and one of them says she was angry with that type of person. She said that she didn't like poor people who were proud, as they didn't like to be helped. At that moment, the employee returns. They then get up to receive it, and then the employee says she would ask each of them 2 questions. One of the women then asks if that interview was going to be based solely on questions asked of them. The employee says yes, but that before she starts asking them questions, she would need to look at their resumes. She then says she needed to do that, because that vacancy was supposed to be the new general manager of the company. The woman then tells the employee that her resume was already on her desk. The other woman then hands the employee her resume. The employee says she would start looking at their resumes using Letitia's resume. She says she is amazed that she has completed 5 years of business school. She said she was impressed that she had a master's degree. She then proceeds to look through the other woman's resume. She said it was a really good resume as she had done marketing. She says she is impressed that the other woman had already worked at a company for 10 years. The other woman then says that there really wasn't anything she couldn't do as she had done her college abroad. The employee then says that now she would look at the man's resume. She starts to read and realizes that his resume said he worked in the cleaning field. When women hear this, they start laughing at the man. The employee then says that on the man's resume it also said that he had managed a cleaning crew. The man then tells the employee that he was very good at what he did. He said that whatever she needed him to do, he would learn quickly. The employee then says that now they would answer the questions she was going to ask them. She said they couldn't make any mistakes. She says that the first question was for them to say why they wanted that position that was being offered. The woman then says that she was there, as she had the ability to make the company's revenue triple if she had that manager position. The employee then praises the woman's response. The other woman says that her friend had said that she would be able to triple the company's revenue, but that it was too easy for her. She says that, because of her excellent faculty, she would be able to make the company's revenue 7 times greater than the current one. The employee also praises the other woman's response. The man then says that, unlike the other candidates, he hadn't gone to college. He says that if they were willing to teach him, he would be willing to learn how to do the job. At that moment, another man comes through the door pushing the girl. The girl tries to stop the man from pushing her, but he is much stronger than her. The man then asks the employee to wait a while, as he needed to sort it out. The employee then says that if he left that room, he would be disqualified for the vacancy. She asks him not to leave, but he doesn't listen. The man then goes to him and wonders why he is doing that to the girl. The security guard then says that it was just a security issue, but he asks him to let the girl go. The employee then asks what the man was doing, but he says that he would just resolve the situation quickly and that he would be right back for the interview. She then asks if he would really want to miss that opportunity, but he promises her he wants it to be quick. The security guard then starts to take the girl away, but the man says that girl was his niece. The security guard says that, even so, he needed to take her away, because she couldn't be there. The employee then says that the man should return soon to the interview, otherwise she would continue the interview without him. The employee says that she had waited too long for the man and that now, she was going to continue the interview without him. The security guard then says that he would take the girl out of there, but the man asks him to let her stay there for a while. He then returns to the room and apologizes to the employee. The employee then asks if that was the way he would handle an interview that could change his life, but he says that when he saw that security guard kicking the girl out of there he felt an obligation to help the girl. The employee says that she didn't care about that, because his obligation was to answer her question. The man asks the employee for forgiveness and says he really needed that job. The employee says that she would give him one last opportunity, but that she wants him to take advantage of it very well. He thanks the employee for the opportunity. The employee then gets up and says that she needed to leave, but that she would be back soon to deliver the interview result to them. The women, then, say that if the man had a remote chance of getting that company, he had just lost. She then says that the man tried to do a good thing, but that in the end he missed out on a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. The man then says that he still had faith that he would get that vacancy, because not all was lost, but the women surrendered and says that it was not a matter of faith. At this time, the girl enters and greets the candidates. They then didn't understand what was going on, and at that moment the girl sat down in the chair. One of the women then asks if that was a bad joke, but the employee assures her that it wasn't a joke and asks her to wait in silence. The other woman then asks where the owner of the company was, but the girl says that her father had passed away and left that company to her. The women then say they are sorry for the girl's loss and ask if they could do something for her. The girl yells at them and tells them they didn't need to do that anymore as they had treated her badly outside. They then say that that was impossible as they had never seen the girl before. The girl says that before they joined the company, she auditioned them. It makes them very confused. If the girl says that she had done a test with each of them. She says that the test consisted of her dressed as a blind person, and that in that test 2 people had been eliminated. The woman said it was a bad joke, but the girl asks them to return the money they had stolen from her. The woman said that she hadn't stolen money from anyone, but the girl says that if she didn't give it back, she would call the police. The woman said she didn't need to call the police as she didn't want to work for a company that was run by a spoiled brat like her. She then returns money to the girl and leaves. The girl says that the woman was leaving too late and asks the other woman to return her money too. The other woman, then, asks the girl to give her a chance, because she really needed that job and she didn't intend to do that to her. The girl then yells at her and says she was looking for honest people in her company. She then asks the woman to return her money and leave. The woman then returns the money to the girl and says the test was very ridiculous. The girl then tells the man that she was looking for honest people to help her run that company, as she was just a child yet. She said the man had passed the test. The man is very happy with that and asks if he really had passed. The girl says yes and hands him back his shoelace. The man is happy about that, and then the employee says that he was the new general manager of the company. The man then thanks the opportunity the girl was giving him. She then says that he was the kind of person she needed in her company, an honest person.